completely manual with a auto storage system. But yeah, I've been pretty busy at work over the last couple of days finishing up these storage systems here. It's very, very simple: water on ice and fence gates go into hoppers. Some of these places have barrels, some of them have chests. I just think it looks better with barrels over on those spots over there. This place is, well, more of a chest place, as you can see. And I've actually gone with a couple different designs and all of them. And this is actually all freestyle building. And that's kind of where you just pick up a couple blocks and kind of just go with it, I guess. That's essentially what I've done here. This is just straight out of my head. Sorry, I haven't planned any of this. This has just come straight out. So it's really good to see the building style develop again. I like the patterns and all of that. So really cool. And then we come over here, and as you can see, yeah, all the rooms are completely different. They're not so much the same. But what I've actually done is built the entire space out of the wood that the farm produces, which I think is a cool little gimmick. Yeah, so I just finished this one over here, and you'll see that I actually have some cages on either side. Now, this one is where the TNT falls through to destroy the tree underneath, and this is the actual slime piston mechanism that fires the TNT, so you can see it fire and drop at the same time. I think it's pretty cool to actually see it through the iron bars and see how the machine works. And rather than this one being an auto one, because I don't actually have a collection system down the bottom, this is a semi-auto farm, which means I will collect all the stuff and then chuck it in here myself. Again, not all farms are going to be fully automatic. I like how some of them might be semi-auto or just autos, manual, sorry. So if I go ahead and just chuck some of this away, and actually, tell you what, I'll give you the rest of the tour. So this is the cactus farm, as you can see. I've tried to go very, well, cactus themed with all the black buttons and the greens and things like that. And then water essentially rushes this up into the chests here. And the whole way that this works is the collection system shoots out the bottom here. Occasionally it gets stuck, but I can just pick it up and pop it in the chest. And it will flow into this water system, which will get split on the other side, as you can see there. And you'll actually see some of the items flow down here once these chests are full. But for now, what they'll do is go up, load into these chests. Once all of these are full, and the hoppers as well, they'll drop down here and shoot up the other side and flow into these chests too, and then also create an infinite loop. Now, you can see, yeah, so they do go through, but occasionally they get stuck on here, which is a bit annoying to fix, but I kind of like it because it's somewhat interactive. Okay, so moving round to the left, we have the sugarcane farm. Bit of a lower roof, bit of less storage, but the farm is slower. So I thought maybe wider storage, but less of it. A bit of a smaller room as well, and I do like the design on the floor here. It's essentially the same design. It spins the water around, the items get put into the chests, but there's no sort of dropping mechanism that is kind of visual. And all the farms sit up the top there as well. And all these middle ones, they can actually be stacked right up to world heights. So just going to build the same farm on top of itself over and over again. They all go into this one storage system. Now, this melon pumpkin area, I do actually have two separate outputs. So one side is pumpkin, one side is for melon. And that way, I only get melons in this chest, and I only get pumpkins in this chest. And as you can see, it is running pretty well so far. And it kind of splits between these two front chests. This will be sort of the main ones I'm taking out of, but this is all sort of like bulk storage here. I've tried to incorporate some of the copper, and as you saw on the other green ones as well, I've used the slightly oxidized, the slightly weathered copper on this, and it adds this sort of green effect. I think that's really cool. I've actually tried to make the melon slice up here as well. That's super duper cool. Now I have actually used white here as well, just because I couldn't really find a colour that mixed these two together. So I think the white mixes really well, and I've also used the green frog lights, as you can see, mixes well the melon. And then the orange frog lights, or the yellow or the ochre ones for the pumpkin, which I think suits really well. Coming over to the cocoa beans. So this is somewhat reminiscent of the sugarcane farm, except it's got a slightly different floor. I think it's a really cool pattern. Again, this is all all of these are freestyle. These are not planned out at all. These are all just me freestyling my building, and it's gone superb and spectacular. And I absolutely love it, to be honest. Again, no sort of visual display, but the cocoa beans will flow into here. This, again, is a semi-automatic farm, though, because you actually have to manually operate it from up there. This one most likely won't be stacked, but will still have some sort of structure around it, just to show elegance and, well, structure. But that's kind of what's been going on. And each one of these rooms I'd say it takes about an hour to build. Because it's not kind of just me placing stuff down, it's also, okay, I'm going to place it down, but also step back and maybe actually take that off and put another thing down. It's kind of that repeated process, because I don't actually have a plan to build it. You kind of just like recycle through things, and you may come back to a technique you liked, and then you might build that in and add another bit here and there. It's kind of just how I build things like this, and it's super duper fun just to experiment with building style. And I actually haven't built stuff like this in such a while. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, to be honest. It was a lot of fun. As you can see, I have actually died, and also I lost my axe because I wasn't looking at durability properly. All my armor's gone, so there's my shield, but it should be fine. And I basically died by jumping off here with my elytra breaking. I tried to look through the system, my elytra isn't there, I don't know why not. And all of these storage systems are actually my design as well. And super simple, it's just hoppers, water and chests. I don't actually need to put any sort of item in the hopper to measure it into sort of the item there, because the farm only produces one thing. All these farms only produce one thing, obviously, except the tree farms. They don't need sort of categorizing selection system bits, just because they can all flow into the same chest. And I've kind of done a bit of an etho here, where it's a bit ugly on the outside, but on the inside it's actually looks quite nice. Yeah, so if you actually look at the outside bits here, you'll see that they're quite jagged and bulky and things like that, but on the inside they look lovely. And the idea with these ones over here, oh, not meant to be in here, this is a mistake. I will have to somehow get out of here. Right, let me get out of here first. What the hell is it? Why is there... Okay. Yeah, so this sort of water trough here, the idea is that obviously this is also a semi-automatic farm because, well, essentially how this is going to work is the trees are going to be grown automatically by the system, leaves are going to be collected with sticks and stuff that will go into the storage system, which actually only gets to go to one portion. So I have actually split this up into two rather smartly. All the leaves and sticks and apples and saplings, they go over to this side here, whereas all the wood goes over to that side there. I've got two separate systems on either side, so it does actually split up the drops. And basically, very simple how this works is I'm going to put a piston pusher here that pushes the wood out. And obviously that will get mined down here. And this farm will be stacked as well, because I'm going to have multiple of these going up, all on the same spot. And then I just need to link up the hoppers to the system, so all the drops go into the same place. And that shouldn't actually be too hard, since there are hoppers here. And they do somewhat stretch behind this place, so I should just be able to put some down there. It shouldn't be too hard, and that will be the same with the birch and the jungle farms as well, which are the same tree farm, which I've actually made a tutorial on. So if you want to go check out the rest of the channel, maybe subscribe and like. Oh, that is actually YouTube. So I mainly run on YouTube. This is Twitch. On YouTube, my name is the same, icons the same. Should be quite easy to find me. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram under the same name, same spelling, same icon as well. But yeah, on YouTube I made a tutorial for this thing, and all I've really done here is kind of just made this a couple more pistons tool, add some more redstone and raise this thing up. but the original one is that one over there. I made it for, it was Pride Month in 2021, but yeah, still useful to this day, and it still works. It's very simple to build, not too many resources, just quite a lot of hoppers. So you will need a decent amount of iron. Anyway, the idea is that this pushes the 7 tall trees outwards, whether this be the jungle or the birch, because the tall birch grow up to 7 blocks tall. And then obviously the collection system will somewhat be the same as that. I just need to build in a water trough to collect the things, and then edit this system down here so it all gets pushed into this place over here. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing over the last couple of days. But for now, that's the old mob farm anyway. For now, what I'm going to be doing is I actually need to go ahead and build some new farms. So by the title, as you can see, so many farms, right? And what I mean by that is that because I have all of these, this opens up so many routes and so many pathways to other farms, especially some specific ones that these ones rely on. So they are bone mill, basically just bone mill. And bone mill is essentially a flower farm or a moss farm, which opens up dyes and sheep and concrete and terracotta and all of that. So I'm going to be trying to build some of them today. Most likely I'll probably go and build the bone mill farm first, and then we'll have a look at getting the sheep farm started. The only problem is I need to find places for them, because this island is not terribly suited for them. And the only reason for that is because, well, obviously none of this has been mined out, and I'm not actually planning to build any more farms here. The whole basis of the island was to kind of just have these bits here, because these are the foundational farms. And although this is technically an industrial district, I kind of want to have farms in there, well, dedicated biomes. So what I'm actually going to end up doing is I'll probably grab some stuff from all these sugar boxes here, because I've got a ton laying over. But what I'll probably end up doing is actually going to a plains biome and setting up the sheep farm there, and then possibly going to some other place for the bone mill farm. Actually, tell you what, we're going to go to a flower forest today, and we're going to build up our bone mill and dye farm, and then if I get a chance, I'll head over to sheep and concrete. I'm just thinking they'd want to be relatively close, so I just have to think, that's all, because I haven't really planned out where I want these farms to go, which is probably something I should do, really. So yeah, I'll grab some stuff from here and there, just see what I need for these farms. And actually, the sheep farm is super duper easy to build, to be honest. It's literally just observers, glass, sheep and shears, and a dash of redstone. And that's literally one module. And actually, speaking of which, I also made a tutorial on that, which is on YouTube. You can check out. Super easy to build, super quick, and it's pretty early game as long as you have access to the nether. So yeah, that's really, really cool to do. And then obviously the bone meal farm, a bit more technical, but yeah, we'll give it a whirl. And the flower farm and the bone meal farm are kind of the same. It's the same farm, except one has stuff that goes into composters, so obviously makes the bone meal. And I have actually made one before, I've just forgotten how to make it, to be honest. So I'm just going to grab some info here, and then we're going to go ahead and do this stuff. Yeah, so bone meal, sheep, dyes, concrete, and possibly terracotta. I don't know if terracotta farms are possible in the game. We will just have to see. Right, flower farm, bone meal farm. Okay, bone meal farm is here. So bone meal and flour will build in the same place. and then the sheep and dyes, I guess we can build... Well, no, the flower is the dye farm. I'm going to have loads of separate ones, and I don't know whether to stack them or not. So... sheep and concrete are kind of things that you mix with dye, so they're produce. But the bone meal and the dyes, or the flowers, are the original sort of like pre-made bits that you mix with the rest of the stuff. So I think in their own right they should have their own building. So we'll see what we can do, to be honest. Yeah, again, I haven't really planned this out, so it's going to be a bit odd doing this. But yes, I need to stay here and probably just grab some stuff before I go. Just so I have enough stuff to build the bone meal farm that I need. Just give me 1 sec. Right. For God's sake. 1 second. Just gonna find the stuff I need. Okay. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna actually have to go to a lush cave because I need moss blocks for this. Or I could... Well, actually, if it uses moss, then technically I should build it in a lush cave. And funnily enough, there happens to be a lush cave... There happens to be a lush cave right next to the iron farm. So that's kind of terrific. I also know of another lush cave that I did in the updated Portals version. So we could probably head over there too. And tell you what, I'm going to build this thing out of deep slate because it's mostly what you find in caves nowadays. I do need some lava. I will tell you what, I'll grab a somewhat empty shulker box. So I'll empty this one out. And we can just take this off with us. I've got a bunch of stuff here that needs using anyway. A bunch of stuff left over from farms, and this needs sorting at some point as well. So I probably will build like a proper storage system in the future at some point. Probably even down here. That was the original plan anyway. So tell you what, I will grab a screenshot of this stuff here. And then we can go ahead and collect this now. So I just go ahead and pinch that. And just go and crop it like that. All the way up, there we go. That's done cropping. Oh. Yep, that's there now. So what I might just do quickly while I collect this stuff, as not to bore you guys, you can put this on the background if you want to, or just watch it while you listen to something else. I'm going to go mute for a second, just because, yeah, I don't really have anything to talk about while I grab this stuff. But I'll be back in like 10 minutes, I'd say. Or maybe in 5, to be honest. This doesn't look like too much stuff, and I got most of it here anyway. But yeah, we'll just see you in a sec. Right, where's the mic? Okay, we're back. And now all I need is moss. And the best place I know for that is a lush cave, which is where we're now going to head over to. So if I... Which portal shall I take? I'll take this one down here. Yeah. Let's do is chuck myself through here, drop down very carefully, trying not to die, because that would be bad. And then go all the way down here, all the way down here, all the way down here, and then down here, and into here, and then through the portal. So I basically got everything I need now, just to build the stuff. I wasn't sure if it was 6 dispensers or 6 droppers, so I got 6 of both. I can't really tell, because the picture's a bit blurry. Ah, it should be alright. Right, which way was it to... Here it is. Let's try and remember which way it was to the Lush Cave. Right. Forest, bro. Road of Badlands. Cold Ocean, Warm Ocean, Caves. Nope. That's Dripstone Caves. I need Lush Caves. I think they're further down this way, because I've only really routed out these tunnels so far. Just have a look. It's not down there, that's Snowy Plains. Or at least I think it is, anyway. Cherry, Winslow Gravity Grove. I have definitely marked it out, because I remember doing it. Lush Caves, should be the second one down here, okay? So it'll be the second tunnel down this way. And what I've done to make sure I know where they are is on the list, they're in the, from top to bottom, they're in the order of where they are. Just I know which tunnels to go down when I need to. It's kind of a smart way to do it, and also quite simple as well. But yeah, while we walk, feel free to... I haven't said this yet. Feel free to type in chat, to be honest. Feedback, just simple hi would be nice. Yeah, it's a lot of walking. To be honest, this stream might be a bit shorter than others, because I started a bit late. So, yeah. That's... just have to see. Maybe it'll work if I jump. Oh. These tunnels are really long. That's not it down there, is it? No, I think this is the frozen river. Actually, it would tell me on this sign here. Frozen river, yeah. So I need to go right out of here and along the tunnels. So although I've put signs back there just to make sure that I'm in the right place, I put signs at the portals as well, because sometimes this place can get a bit confusing. And I think in terms of the actual nether hub, I'm going to go ahead and build it after I've got all the farms down. Just I have the resources to actually go ahead and build it. And the concrete farm is going to play a massive role in that. So this should be Lush Caves down here. Bit of a longer tunnel, but shouldn't take too long to get there. And we should be there in a couple of seconds, to be honest. Yeah, but bone meal and dyes. What we're going to do first, and then I can go ahead and do the sheep and concrete as well. I'm just thinking about how I'm going to... Well, I've thought about how I'm going to do farms and streaming and videos and stuff, and what I might do is streams where I collect and build the farms, and then essentially collect snippets of the streams, and then kind of just chuck them into the videos. Just kind of show progress, I guess. And also, I need to kind of plan out where I want all the farms to go, because obviously this time around I haven't really planned it, but I think bone meal works good in the Lush Caves because it uses the moss to make the farm work. Dyes will obviously go in the flower forest because that's where all the flowers are. And I can actually build a 2-tool flower farm there as well, which will act as another bone meal farm. And actually, to be honest, bone meal farms can be built out of any farm that, well, uses renewable resources or something going to a composter. So it could be sugarcane, it could be kelp, it could be bamboo, it could be anything really. But I'm going to use moss because it's probably the easiest one to do. And basically how this farm works, once we get there, is it turns stone into moss and then harvests that moss. So essentially how it works. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all the moss I need, and now I just need to find a place for it. And I actually haven't dug out any of this yet, which is kind of cool. So if I just find a spot down there somewhere, because I kind of want this place to be an entrance when I do go and build stuff in here. But yeah, this whole cavern here is going to be turned into some sort of base. So yeah, it's going to be really, really fun. But I want to kind of find a place where I can chuck this in. Where is a good place for this farm? So the entrance is further up there, so possibly I could go chuck. I've just got to be wary because there might be mobs down here, and also lava as well. Well, no, there is lava, but I've still got to be wary of where I put my feet. Otherwise this could go very wrong very quickly. Playing with the water isn't very fun either. Oh, there's a nice little nook down here actually, so tell you what, I'll probably fill this off and build the farm just here. One thing I forgot to bring that I should have bought actually is torches, but I think glowberries will serve enough light for now. So what we'll do is just first go ahead and sort of clear out this area, I guess. Just get rid of some of this, like that, and then we'll go ahead and grab some more blocks just from over here. Just I have a bit more space to sort of work on and a bit of a flatter surface. So if I grab them and then grab this, and then we just go ahead and somewhat fill these in, just like that. That way, a bit of a flatter surface to work on and a bit more space. We're going to be building the farm this way across because it needs to be widened. And then I think eventually what I'll do is build some sort of room here or some sort of encasing, and you'll be able to sort of peer into it from this side over here. So I think that'd be quite nice. Anyway, I guess we'll get started. If I go back to where do I need to go to? Where was the stuff I need to go to this thing? Oh. Library, and then here, and then it's this one here. Okay, volume more now. Right, and then we can start the tutorial. Yeah. Yeah, so while, I haven't mentioned this, but while some of the farms are my own original designs, some of them I might just have to sort of take inspiration from other people and also use their tutorials as well, because some of them I'm not entirely sure how to build. I know like the rough mechanics, but the entirety of the build is a bit out there for me. So this bone meal farm is by Dead Hours TV. So thanks to them for this. Just watching the first portion, so I know which way the farm needs to face. I just bumped the mic there, sorry about that. Okay, so that goes there, and then actually if I look at the thumbnail, I can see how this is gonna look. So yeah, that needs to be there, so the hoppers can be on this side facing here, which will collect all the stuff. Okay, yeah, we can get started right away on this thing. I just need to go ahead and place this back in because it's really annoying. The only problem with building here is that there's going to be a ton of water in the way. Yeah, which can be a problem at some point. But not right now, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and build this thing. Okay, so the pistons would need to go along this back wall here. So I go ahead and grab the shulker box with all the stuff in. Just like that. And actually this whole place in here, this lush gate, this is essentially well, a growing bone meal farm, because moss is literally, well, bone meal in block form. Except for bone blocks, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So I need to get them and these, okay, and then I just need to go ahead and build this thing in. So actually I can use some of the terrain back here as building blocks for the farm, which is rather convenient. So they'll go in there, and then place 1, 2, 3 there. We'll put 2 more blocks here, yep. Then we need to come out by 1 and just go all the way back across, just like that, and put a block there in the middle. Okay. Just like that, and then we need to go ahead and put water in there. Where's the water? So we need to put water in here, and they're building it in survival as well. Now, what I like about some tutorials is that they build their stuff in survival, which actually puts it more into perspective for a person in survival. I think that's actually really helpful, and what I might start doing is my tutorials in survival as well. I just find it really helpful, yeah. Because I feel like in creative you're a bit too fast and a bit, well, you can fly around, so it's a bit easier to build, whereas if you do it in survival, you can kind of show them where you need to stand, where you need to be, and how you get up there. So yeah, that's a really neat way of thinking about it. And then this all needs to come up by 1 block, all the way across the back as well. I won't forget my shulker is there. I will have to actually mine it out in a second, just because I can't actually physically reach it right now. Like open it. So what I'll go and do is just move this around to here. Okay, yep. Just like that. Yep, so I've just done that over the back, and then I need to go ahead and put a block in that middle space there. So I need to jump up here. Go ahead and place a block there, and then I need to grab my lava buckets, because I understand this now. I'm making a stone generator. Ah, okay. Yeah, so this makes a stone generator, which then causes the farm to work. So that's how you make stone. Right, so stone is made by lava on flowing water, and cobblestone is made by flowing water on lava, and then obsidian is made by, well, lava in water. But yeah, I didn't know, I don't know how I didn't know this, but I didn't know how to make stone. I generally did not know how to make stone. Yeah, I'm happy I do now know how to do that. It's something I should know, and I should have known for ages, but I don't know. I'm just happy that I know how to make stone now, so yeah. Anyway, so lava goes on top there, just like this. It makes a stone generator, kind of a little face as well. Kind of cute, and a bit evil because of the red lava eyes. Did I just say red? I meant orange, sorry. And then it's 2 block, 2 block, all the way across the back. Okay, so I won't actually need to build that since I already have blocks back here. I can actually just go ahead and mine all of this out along this back portion here. So like this. There we go. Yep. And then it is what? What have we got next? They're kind of fumbling around a bit with their materials. So it's... leave on that block for some torch. Repeat. Okay, so then it is... actually, if I just mine out these 2 blocks, we should be able to get in a bit better. We need to chuck down a block there, and then I need to go put the rest of this back in here. Just like that, and I need to grab my redstone stuffs. It's like that, and then I need to go ahead and put a lever on top of here. Redstone torch goes on the back of this block, which should depower it, but for now it'll be powered because the lever is off. Repeaters go into the back of here like this. 2, 3, 4. like that, and they all should be on 4 ticks apparently, so do that now. And this is, I guess, going to be the timer for when the pistons push. Just it makes it properly. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make that signature L shape. Does that go all the way to the end, or does that just stay there? Just going to watch this again. So that goes, yeah, repeaters, also 4 ticks to generate the stone. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So that actually comes off by 1, and then this all goes to the end here. And this creates a clock. Oh. Yeah, so I'm not too good with... Well, I'm quite good with redstone and sort of hoppers and things like that, but I'm not too great with clocks and things. And I've learned a couple over the past couple of days, so this is quite good. I know how to build the Etho hopper clock, but yeah, these ones I'm not too familiar with, so this is a cool one to learn. Okay, so that flicks off. And then I need to come around to the front of this place here. Okay, yep. Wait, what? Oh, if I go around to the front, these should be pushed out. Ah. Oh, that's clever. Oh, I need to, get rid of these. Sorry, that's my fault. My bad. I need to get rid of these blocks here. And what we should see is this starting to generate some stone. If I just mind all this out the way. If I put the clock back on, it should start generating some stone for us. We go flip this back on. Put that on there. There we go. That is pretty cool. Yes, that is working. Okay, so that's how this whole farm works essentially. It's all based around that. Very, very simple stone farm. So I now know how to build a stone farm as well. And obviously if you harvest this with a silk touch pick, it goes ahead and turns straight back into stone. Whereas if you mine this with any other pick, including one with fortune, you just get your regular old cobblestone. But yeah, that's really cool. Obviously the stone farm that I build will be slightly different to this one. Yep, okay. So then you come to the center block and build out your 7 moss. Ah, I see where you're going with this now, because then this bone mills and then, okay. I'm starting to understand this. This is, it's getting a bit more fun. I'm starting to understand it. So this the middle block here, yep. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might need to man out a bit more space just here. Just to get this thing going. Especially this clay, which I can actually trade in with the villagers back over at the trading hall. And if you haven't seen already, I did make a stream and a video about the ultimate trading hall, or what I think the ultimate trading hall is, and it is pretty sick. So feel free to check that out as well, both on the YouTube channel and also... Actually, no, you can only check it on the YouTube channel. So the problem is with Twitch, my streams only stay up for 2 weeks. Whereas on YouTube, which is where I cross-transfer them to, they can stay up forever unless I decide to take them down. So all of the stuff that was on Twitch or will be on Twitch will be on YouTube as well for you to watch at any time. Just in case you missed something or you wanted to go back and watch it again. There we go. Right. Go. So that goes into there, moss comes into here, and then we need, they're furnaces, they're not, yeah, so furnaces technically can't be moved by, the stuffs. I've done this wrong. I need to make some furnaces, but I don't have any wood on me. Bear with me a second. I'm gonna try and find some wood. Oh yes, they've got thingy bobs down here. If I grab some of this, what I can literally do is grow one of these azalea trees and mine this down. So what I might eventually do is actually come down here and bone meal a bunch of these trees and just, like, kind of restore it to its own natural beauty. I guess add a bit of lore and stuff as well, because this place could have been some sort of place where, I guess, I don't know, just where the trees have grown, they've kind of shrunk down again over evolution and stuff. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I could come down to the lush cave here and just kind of grow some of the trees up. It'd be pretty cool. Just to add a bit, yeah, add some lore, add a bit more detail to the whole place. But yeah, I can now make a crafting table. That's not what I wanted to do, that is what I wanted to do. To make 2 crafting benches, why not? We'll chuck one down here, and then we'll grab out like that, and then we'll make 10 furnaces, because why not? And then we'll go ahead and chuck these fences down where they need to be. So these actually go on the... Oh yeah, so this is to stop the stone from pushing anymore. So this is kind of like a limit for the farm, I guess. There we go. Just need to mine out some more block space here. That makes more sense. Okay. Mine out some more block space, head space. It's a working, and this is it's a bit of a sus shape, but yeah, we'll work with it. This works from this way up. Okay, the one from here as well. It's just a big eye. 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 And then obviously you flick lever on, that goes all the way across, and then yeah. So I would just flick lever on just to test everything is working. I don't want to get crushed, so I'm going to stand up here. This gets pushed alongside the moss bone mills, and then obviously things happen. And since I've actually got this against the wall, it shouldn't push anymore. So that should work fine. There we go. Then we turn that off. There we go. That's stone done. Okay. And then what's the next step? It is to put some outer layers on the farm. I see. Okay, so we just grab our blocks once again. And I'm actually going to use deep slate this time just to sort of mark an outline, I guess. Across this bit here, and then also across this side here. Very simple but very efficient farm. That's what I'm going to say. I want there too. And it seems to be working rather well. Obviously I haven't got any drops, but the actual mechanics of it are simple and efficient. So yeah, that's a benefit. Okay, this is where it gets a bit tricky. So I think they've built this in Java, and this is in Bedrock. There are some differences, but I think this should still work. So there's on the other side, so I need to go here. Need to grab our trapdoors on this side here, and do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just like that, and then I'm guessing put a block there. And then you flip all these up, waterlog them, and then when you put them down they should let water flow through them. Just need to put blocks up behind them. Just like this. I've done this before in some of the other farms. It does work on Bedrock now. I don't know if it works before, or if it didn't, and I do it doing it wrong, but it should be fine now. And this is why you need the water sources, I guess. I'm going to break that, and then go ahead and grab our bucket of water. All you do is just make a... Yeah, this is the only problem. This doesn't entirely work in Bedrock. That's the only problem with this farm. So what I might have to do instead is maybe... That's really going to have to read it. Okay, so if I maybe move these trapdoors ahead by 1 block, they should still work. Or what I can do is make some fence gates. And then they should go well. I'm gonna have to try and figure this out. This important work before, because I did this once before and it did work because water stayed behind the trapdoors. I don't know why it's not working now. This dash actually kind of upgrade the redstone because otherwise I can't. Oh, it's a good thing I bought my dispenser, isn't it? I am smart. I sure, and I've got plenty of buckets left over as well. So it's a good thing I did bring my dispensers then, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do this. Now I am missing one. What I like to do is go straight to the middle one, because the water should spread out over the whole thing. So that should be fine. And all I need to do is grab the water bucket, fill all these up, and then I should be able to... Oh, no, there's a lava portal! Snags a lava. Oh, I miss these guys. I haven't seen an axolotl in ages, because I haven't been to a page in ages. Actually, I honestly haven't seen an axolotl in this world since the update came out. Because I did have a couple pets, I don't know where they went. They kind of did, or I died with my hand. Yeah, that was probably the case. But yes, that's now done. I can check a clay block in the middle there. And although this, well, I've said this before, they've got a job on the damage that's kind of what I did. With some of the farms originally, and then I built them myself in my own version because it didn't work. But this one, I'm confident it will, because it uses some of the same redstone. But rather than these being trapdoors, they are just dispensers. So this should work fine. And it only takes 1 tick of these things to fire, so that should be also fine. Chuck this one here, redstone. There's also one back here, so this should power those blocks, powers the dispensers. Yep. And the reason I did redstone around here earlier is because I'm now going to do this. Okay, so I've already got blocks here because they're clear here on the ground already, which is fine. I'm going to collect all this small lava. But, so, what do I do now? Okay, so I need to put a lever. Oh, no, because surely this fires. Power to 2 pieces dust into the back of the middle block. Oh, so we're making another clock essentially around the back. Just this thing fires automatically. I see. That's actually rather clever. That's definitely not just going to go down by a level though. So we'll need to just take some bits out here. Luckily, I've brought my shovel with me, so it shouldn't be such a problem. And I've also got silk touch, so there's not as many drops on the floor. Ooh, that's that stuff is eyes playing tricks on me. It's dark. Right, here we go. And actually, to say I'll probably end the stream at the end of this. I've kind of showed you around what's happening here. And this farm is essentially going to be the same as the flower farm. It's the same mechanics, except you have flowers and here and nearby mills and getting pushed in. And that's just the only generation here. It's just that that's not there, and it's just flowers on this side, and you have pistons on that side as well. They essentially just pushed it back and forth. Flowers come off into composters or into the spaces. So probably build this, and then we'll head over to the place where I want the sheep built, and we'll just build a little pen. And again, that tutorial is on YouTube, so go watch it if you want to or need to. Very short, very fun, very easy, especially if you have those two in nether. Okay, this goes next to the block down here. I need to chuck that back down actually. So if I grab my leveler, let's say leveler. So that goes there, and then we get the character, which I forgot to get out of the box. I didn't bring home character with me. Not annoying. I've only got one rocket to get back up as well. I've got to make a character with the very crucial part of what is going to happen here. So, well, I just need to find it again, to be honest. It's not there, it's not there. Can I make that? Farmer George, yes I can. Right, I'm gonna head grab this comparator, grab some rockets as well actually, and then come back in and finish this farm off. We'll just see what happens. Let's go. And the back. Yep. Back with the comparator, hopefully. Yep, it's in my hand. I thought I hadn't picked it up for a second, that would be a problem. Anyway, as you can see, I've got a ton more rockets, so it should be all good now on that front. And we can just go ahead and chuck this comparator and get this clock working, get this bloody farm working as well. And then we should go and head back through the portal again, that painful running sequence where I need to put the bloody hub in. And go ahead and start that wool farm. And I know where the plains is, so that we can go and do that as well. Is it 1 or 2? It was 2, wasn't it? And then it was redstone here, and then redstone to the back, and then 1, 2, 3. And then a piece of redstone. Wait, what? I've done this wrong. That needs to go like that. No, that's 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, so you can fit 3 in there. That goes on. That's on subtract mode. And then we need to put the 3, all of them on 4 ticks. 3. And they should all be on 4 ticks. Flick that lever, and that should make a clock. And now we can go what we need to do is then go ahead and connect that up, I guess. So that comes around here. I can't get up. Right, that goes around here, up here, and on here. That clock now activates this water system every time it needs to. Now I'm just going to test it works as well. Yep, and then that turns off. And then that flicks it off. I see, that is a problem. Right, this isn't entirely working properly because this is just staying on. And this block in the middle is being distracting as well. Right, there we go. Now the water should fire, turn off, fire. There needs to be a block here, otherwise the water is just going to continuously come back and stay on the thing. Which is what it needs to do, but not in the way it was doing it just before that. So I will need an extra block here just because I don't have an extra dispenser. Okay, so now that system is all working properly. I will go ahead and turn it off just quickly, just so it doesn't ruin anything else. Okay, so all the water should be now off. And then all we need to do is come... Well, this side is already filled in because obviously I've got a wall there, but obviously we have to fill it in manually, so that's all good. And then we just go and add the bone meal and the other stuff. Okay, and then that goes up there. Yep. And then this fires on and off. Okay. Yep, so we flick that off, and then I actually do need to come around the side of here, so I will put some blocks here. Let me just figure this out quickly. Oh, so just one on the end of there, okay. So we need to come around the back once again. And this is where I wish I'd gotten torches for the build. So this is where it gets a bit more complicated. That's all the furnaces. I was not meant to do that. I'm gonna have to put all of them back in. Give me a second while I figure this out. Oops, three. There we go. Just like that. Yep. There we go. And then I actually need to take these out here because these go on top of the ferni. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this actually goes around the back of that. Okay. Oh, no, these need to be one back. That's right. Instead, like that. Oh. Just like this. Oops. No. Like this. And then that comes out by 1. And then all of these go on 4 ticks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And then it is. What does it go after that? So I need to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, why is there 3 on his and only 2 on mine? Because I built it wrong, yeah, that's why. That's why it's different measurements. Right, so that actually needs to go from there. This needs to come out to here. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're all back, and then it's 1, 2, 3. That one's already mined out. This one underneath, and one underneath there as well. Let's jump out this hole. Let's come around to the front here. Just realised I need another dispenser. I am going to go grab that just quickly now. Just give me a second here. Just going to do that now. And this is just instantaneous pulse progress on planning where I want the rest of these things to go. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you later, and goodbye. I always forget that to end with it. Goodbye.